Good evening. My name is John, and this is the Homestead Diary. We are in repair mode. I've got about 9.5 days where I'm located to do a bunch of repairs, and I just wanted to go through those to kind of give myself an idea of what's got to get done and give you all an idea of what we're up against, and hopefully we'll be in your prayers because there's a lot that we need to fix. So, first off, we have the issue of the boiler system. Now, these are zone valves, and a boiler system with a zone valve is that. So water flows in through here and out through there. Now this right here is what's called the head, and the head will, when it's stimulated by the thermostat, will cause a wax thing to heat up, and it'll release a compression thing which will press on the valve and it'll make this go. Well, one of the power heads, or one of the zone valves, the valve itself, not the head, has gone bad. And so I bought this, which is a little utility flamethrower, so to speak, a little torch, and that on top of this will give me the ability to sweat copper. And then this right here is my tinning flux, which you put on the pipe after you run a quick sand over it. And then this is the solder that you heat up the pipe and then you touch the solder to the pipe and the joint sucks it in because of the flux and reasons that I don't understand. And anyway, that's how you do it. And some various fittings here that we're going to be using to complete that, as long as a short section, as well as a short section of pipe here. And so that's the first major thing to tackle. Now, one of the things I will do, we have 3 different zones, and I'm learning how to test the power heads for continuity using this multimeter. Costs like 16 bucks, and so pretty cheap as far as multimeters go. They go for hundreds in some places, and so we'll see. Maybe I'll learn something in the process. 2 of our microwave ovens, the lights have gone out, you know, the little over the stove light, and so these things will go in there to replace what was there. So those are working again. One of the tubs, the valve is constantly leaking from here down into here, constant pouring of water out, and so I've got to replace that setup. And at the same time, this part is leaking somewhere down in here, and so it's been leaking into the ceiling of the place below it, and so I've got to replace that. Fortunately, there's already a place in the wall cut, so I should be able to access it pretty easily. And then in the ceiling below, there's a nice hole, and that right there is going to go in its place. I've got some spackle there that can help me cover it up, and then of course the tape to cover the seams, unless I decide to do it a different way, whatever is most expedient at this point. There are a number of places where the trim has been scuffed and messed up, and so bought some spar urethane to fix those spots, as well as some sanding block, a fine sanding block, to hit those, make that work. There are also places where the trim is coming off a little bit, and so I bought trim screws. Now the trim in this house is primarily put up with trim nails, but I don't have my trim nailer with me. That would have been a bit much to carry, and so we'll be using trim screws and hopefully a little bit of putty, and that'll be taken care of. There are lots of places where there are cracks here and there that have appeared in between the walls and the ceiling in different spots as things have moved around over time, and so this right here is going to fill those spots, and then I can paint over top of it. Some of the drawers are coming apart, and so I'm going to be gluing drawers back together. One of the joys of walking in on a place you haven't been in a while is people like to remove things like carbon monoxide detectors and smoke detectors, so I picked up some more of those. Also, the shade of one of the lights is gone, and so I bought a replacement there. I'm probably not even going to install the fixture. I'll just use this glass part, because to purchase the glass would have cost more than to purchase an entire fixture, which is ridiculous. Also, we have the 2 shower valves that burst when the place froze up, and so these will replace the 2 shower valves, and I bought a new tool to facilitate that. This is a crimp ring tool, or I should say a pinch clamp tool. The crimp ring tool is a much larger tool that you can't really maneuver. These arms on that other tool go way out in order to get around the ring, whereas this is one-hand operation. I should be able to reach inside the wall and make that happen. And then to attach the shower valves from the back side, I've got a couple of steel strips that will be able to screw into the studs. Those are These are not your typical plumber tape. Plumber tape is much more flexible. These are more rigid and can hold it securely in place. There are some places where light switches are missing. I don't even know what they would operate anymore. Can't find anything lacking, and so I got some blanks to fill in those holes because that's just kind of the thing to do. What else? Over here, I've got a thermostat. I have two things to replace non-functioning thermostats, and then thermostat wire. One of the lights, like in the bathroom, this rim around here has corroded badly, and so I bought this Rust-Oleum metallic finish stuff and a brush, and I'm going to brush it down to make it look good as new. Also, one of the refrigerators, because it was left full of all kinds of lovely things, science experiments and whatnot, this appliance epoxy, I'm going to give it a sand and hit it with that and make it look brand new. And what else do I have going on? I think that's pretty much it. I mean, other than obvious painting, I've got paint supplies and 5 gallons of paint and everything. So it's going to be a busy 10 days or so as I finish up the project here. And so that's a little bit about what we're up against. If you all have any ideas of ways that are easier to do stuff, just let me know. Hit me in the comments. Y'all have a blessed day.